In the meantime, the community has spent years planning for this, so wondering how does something like that fall through the cracks that somebody approves it with a proper approval, and in the meantime, the community spent years planning for it. And on that note, I know that the Metrolinx CEO noted that there is a solution to facilitate the use of land for the project. The community had expected the land to be donated, so now who pays for that?
Well, obviously, this is a project that's incredibly important to the residents of the Jane and Finch area, and so it's unfortunate, to say the least, that, as you pointed out, it was formalized and it fell through the cracks. But this weekend, the Premier and I co-signed a letter to the CEO and the chair of the board of Metrolinx, underscoring the importance of this project and advising Metrolinx that we wanted to see that land used for the construction of the community hub, because we know how important it is, and to provide options for us on path forward. This community hub will be built. It's going to be part of the plan, and we're just waiting for options. But you're right, we will look into how this happened, but as I said, we have committed to moving forward with it. Next question?
Your next question comes from Ashley McGaffin from News Talk 1010. Please go ahead. Hi, Premier. Just for some clarification, this new funding you've announced, it mentions the federal government is chipping in as well. Does the federal contribution to this come from the $7 billion that they're spending to Ontario, or is it in addition to that?
No, it's coming from the federal government, and in total we have $19 billion. I'm going to pass this over to the Minister of Finance.
Thank you. Yes. So in terms of the $7 billion that is being provided to the Government of Ontario under the overall program that the Premier's negotiated, the federal contribution, which will be the $777 million for municipal, and also the $1 billion comes from the portion that's going to Ontario.
Bella?
Thank you. And Premier, just going off of Christina's question as well, we've heard from a lot of Ontarians who are extremely angry when they see videos of people partying in groups of dozens and being flippant about public health guidelines. A lot of people believe these groups are going to be the ones to hold us back from further reopening. So when is enough? When does the province go from an educational approach to an enforcement approach? Or are we going to keep scolding them and hope for the best? And at what point do we roll back the reopening?
I think when people are reckless, we have to look at enforcement. Not only should these residents, the homeowner, get fined $100,000, every person that's there gets dinged with an $800 fine at a minimum. I just can't understand what people think some days. It's really unbelievable. We're doing so well, and then they go out there and hold these parties. You know, it's really, really disappointing. You know, maybe you should call this guy's name out and call him out, because I wouldn't want someone working at my place that just had 200 people over. They should be self-isolating. It's ridiculous. And
Gotcha.
200 people that showed up, maybe you should self-isolate. Maybe you should go get tested. Matter of fact, why don't you go to your grandparents and tell them you were just at a big, huge party, having a great old time, you know, dancing and God knows with no masks, and it's just, it's really unbelievable. It's so disappointing that someone be this reckless, but not once, 3 times, and there's a shooting at the same address right here. Again, get it together. Like, you know, you're just doing a disservice to all the hardworking people out there in Brampton, and there's so many great people in Brampton. It's terrible. Just going back, as the Minister of Transportation mentioned about this hub at Jane and Finch, we're building it. We're building it as sure as I'm talking to you right now. And but there's a process. No matter what government piece of property there is, you've got to go through the process. And I'm not too sure the exact details, but if you know, Metrolinx puts this land forward, then the City of Toronto has to step up too and help get in along with the community and help build this.
Okay, last question.
Last question comes from Rob Berkson from the Toronto Star. Please go ahead.
Hi, Rob.
Hi, Premier. Just to get back to this Brampton stuff for a minute. So you've delayed your decision on stage 3 until Wednesday. Anybody who was at this party on Saturday night isn't really going to probably start showing symptoms till then. Does this mean you have to hold off on the decision Wednesday? And also the numbers in Windsor, ethics are still high. So what are you thinking about there?
So on 2 fronts, I'm going to pass over to the Minister of Health. We'll start off with the Windsor. There was 40 cases in the Windsor-Essex area. I was on the phone with Matt Anderson again. They're going to make sure they're doing testing. They have the Agri Center that people can go in and get tested. They also have the mobile units that they're going right to the farms to get tested. So if you look at two regions, they have 40 in Essex, you have 28 in Toronto. That's more than half. You know, we had 119 cases. You take those out of the equation, we're down to 60 cases. My point is everyone's pitching in. And even not to call Toronto out because there's 3 million people in Toronto almost, so 28 is not a terrible number, but still, we're getting down there. The numbers are going down. And that's what we have to focus on, making sure that we continue lowering the cases. As for the folks out in Brampton, Robert, like what can we say? Like people at home listening are thinking, you gotta be kidding me. You know, you're part of the media, Robert. Name and shame this guy because it's ridiculous. And then we need to tack him with a $100,000 fine immediately, in my opinion. I'll pass it over to Minister Bill. Thank you.
She has power. Just because her like
Well, as
this.
Premier indicated, we are still looking at 3 regions, Windsor, Essex, Peel, and
Doesn't
Toronto.
want to have that
And
kind
we've
of power.
seen the numbers
Everyone
go
does.
up and down a lot in the last week or so. That's why we do need further time to evaluate, and the medical, public health professionals need that time to evaluate. So they will still be looking at the numbers right until Tuesday evening to decide what, if any, statements can be made on Wednesday. But the situation with the parties in Brampton doesn't help the situation, and that is something that I know that Dr. Williams and his team are looking at. They will be the ones that will make the final determination, because you're right, it won't show up as of Tuesday evening. It takes longer for the cases to incubate, but it is still something that needs to be taken into consideration. So thank you.
She's still on the team of.
Yes, thank you. Back to the Premier. There are more than 6,000 eviction applications with the Landlord Tenant Board for residential tenants. You say you have Bill 184 to try to pave the way for working out payment plans or repayment plans, but how can you be so sure that people aren't going to be evicted when there are so many applications before that board?
I'll pass out to Municipal Affairs. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks for the question. We have a lot of tools at our disposal. Obviously,